Well, hello the new, it's only me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting from Studio B, here in the Giggle Mill in Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. Studio B is the home of the resident engineer, that very sweet chap, Adolf Apfelstrudel, from Berchtesgaden in Bavaria. Very sweet chap. Used to drive for the AA, but developed a drink problem and joined Alcoholics Anonymous. So he was often known as BB. And he refuses always to appear before the camera because of his gruesome wounds that he got in the WAR. Now, I have a salutary tale to tell you this afternoon. Two short ones actually. In the first one concerns the psychiatric profession, and it must be midnight. It's those oats, you know, that I have all the time. They keep you regular as a clock. In this little saga, a very concerned wife takes her husband along to a psychiatrist's, and she's very worried about him. When she gets there, in the waiting room, there's one patient waiting in front of her, you see. So she says to the chap who's waiting, excuse me, but this is our first visit here. Is this psychiatrist any good? So the bloke says, oh, everybody says he's brilliant. But in my case, I feel as though I've gone downhill. So she says, how do you mean? So he said, well, up to last week I was Louis the 14th and now I'm nobody. So anyway, she goes in with her husband and sits down, and the psychiatrist gets out his notepad and he starts to make notes, and he said, what's the problem? So the wife said, well, my husband thinks he's a satellite dish and he keeps sort of moving around kind of thing, if you know what I mean, doctor. So he said, oh, don't worry about that, I can soon fix that. Well, she says, I don't want him fixing, I want you to adjust him so I can get the movie channel. Thank you. In the second little tale, again slightly medical, a blonde goes into a chemist shop just before it's closing on a Wednesday afternoon, and she says to the man behind the counter, could I have one of those roll-on bottom deodorants? So he said, bottom deodorants? He said, we don't sell bottom deodorants. She said, you do? She said, I've got an empty one here. She said, look. They looked at it and she said, there, it says at the bottom, instructions for use, push up bottom. Thank you and good night, folks.